Listen up, because what I'm about to share with you is a story unlike anything you've ever heard. It's about betrayal so cruel, a woman was forced to endure pain and humiliation, all while hiding a power no one could imagine. This is the story of Amara Agaku, a woman who chose love over wealth, humility over pride, and ended up locked in a filthy pig pen, her life and future hanging by a thread. But before I tell you how she got there, you need to understand who she really was and how the world was about to find out the truth. Amara wasn't just any woman. She was the sole heir to the magnificent Agaku business empire, a conglomerate worth over 47 billion naira. Yes, you heard that right. 47 billion. Her late father, Chief Bartholomew Agaku, had built an empire from nothing. Real estate, manufacturing, import, export, oil and gas. The Agaku name commanded respect across West Africa. When Chief Agaku was still alive, when he spoke, governors listened. When he moved, eddy markets trembled. And Amara? She was his princess, his only child. But she was special. She never wanted the public attention. She didn't fancy fame. Of course, she was the future of everything Chief Agaku had built. Growing up, Amara had everything she desired. Designer clothes, a mansion with 17 bedrooms. She attended the finest schools in London and Paris. Servants waited on her hand and foot. But here's what makes Amara different from every other rich girl you've heard about. She hated it. Not the wealth itself, but the emptiness. The fake friends who only wanted her money. The men who saw her as a prize to be won, not a person to be loved. Father, she once told the Chief Agaku on her 24th birthday, I want to know what real love feels like. Not love for the Agaku name, not love for the money, just love for me. Chief Agaku, as a wise man who understood his daughter's heart, made it easy for her to taste what life truly is, the cruel part of life. He didn't push her to accept the wealth. Go, he said. Live simply. Find your love. But know this, the empire will always be yours. When you're ready, it will be waiting. And so, Amara made the most extraordinary decision of her life. She walked away from billions. She rented a modest one-bedroom apartment in a middle-class neighborhood. She wore simple clothes from local markets. She worked as a secretary, earning 85,000 naira a month, pocket change compared to her true wealth. But she did all this with one condition. She asked her late father's most trusted confidant, Auntie Tabitha Dofi, to manage the empire in secret. Only 3 people in the world would know Amara's true identity. Amara herself, her childhood friend Funmi, and Auntie Tabitha. To everyone else, Amara was just an ordinary girl from an ordinary family. I want to be chosen for who I am, Amara told Auntie Tabitha before she left her old life behind. Not for what I have. Auntie Tabitha, a shrewd businesswoman in her 50s who had worked alongside Chief Agaku for 30 years, understood. She promised to guard Amara's secret with her life. But child, Auntie Tabitha warned, be careful. The world can be cruel to those without power, without protection. Amara smiled confidently. I'll be fine, Auntie. True love will protect me. Oh, how tragically wrong she was. Before we begin, quickly like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I need you to remember something crucial. While Amara was living her simple life, working her secretary job, riding public buses to work, she owned a business empire worth billions. She had the power to buy and destroy lives with a single phone call. But nobody knew. Nobody. Remember this, because what's about to happen will make your blood boil. Idoko Agbadu walked into Amara's life like a dream. Tall, handsome, charming smile, deep voice, well-dressed, confident. They met at a friend's birthday party. Idoko was working as a mid-level manager at a manufacturing company, earning a decent salary. Not rich, but comfortable, respectable. "You're different from other women," Idoko told Amara on their first date. "You're humble, grounded. I've dated these arrogant rich girls who think the world owes them everything. But you're real." Amara's heart soared. This was what she'd been searching for. A man who loved her for her. When what Amara didn't know, what she couldn't know, was that Idoko Agbadu was a master manipulator. He was charming, yes, but underneath that charm was something dark, something treacherous. You see, Idoko had a philosophy about women, a philosophy he shared with his friends over beer every Friday night. "Women need to know their place," he'd say, laughing. "These modern women think they're equal to men. It's disgusting. My wife will serve me. She'll respect me. She'll know who's the head of the house." But around Amara, he was perfect. He brought her flowers, held doors open, called her my queen, talked about building a future together as partners. Amara fell hard. After 6 months of dating, Idoko proposed. It was a modest proposal, no expensive ring, just a simple gold band. But Amara didn't care. She said yes with tears of joy streaming down her face. "I've finally found him, Auntie," Amara told Tabitha on the phone that night. "The man who loves me for me." Auntie Tabitha was skeptical. "Have you investigated his background? His character?" "Amara, you have resources. Use them. Let me run a check." "No," Amara insisted. "That's exactly what I don't want. I want this to be real, authentic. No investigations, no interference. I want to marry him as Amara, not as the Agaku heiress." Auntie Tabitha sighed deeply. "Then at least let me attend the wedding. Let me see this man." "Of course, Auntie. But please don't reveal who you are. Just come as my distant aunt, a teacher from my hometown." The wedding was small, simple, held at a local church with maybe 50 guests. Idoko's family attended, his mother, a harsh-faced woman named Mama Idoko, and his 2 sisters, equally cold and judgmental. They looked at Amara with disdain from the moment they met her. "So, this is the girl," Mama Idoko sneered during the introduction. "She's plain. I thought my son would marry someone with more class." Amara smiled politely, ignoring the insult. "I am honored to join your family, Ma." "Honored?" Mama Idoko laughed cruelly. "You should be grateful. Do you know how many women want my son? Beautiful women. Women with good families, women with money. Like and subscribe to keep watching as this woman, clueless and bold, insults a billionaire to her face. The truth is about to come out and revenge will be sweet." Auntie Tabitha attended the wedding in disguise, simple wrapper and blouse, no jewelry, and no indication of her true status as the CEO of a multi-billion naira empire. She watched everything, and she didn't like what she saw. The way Idoko's eyes shifted when he thought no one was looking. The way he commanded Amara, not requested. The way his mother treated Amara like property, not a daughter-in-law. "Amara," Auntie Tabitha whispered during the reception, "it's not too late. If you have any doubts, I have none," Amara said firmly, watching her new husband laugh with his friends. "I love him, Auntie, and love conquers all." Auntie Tabitha wanted to scream the truth right there, wanted to tell everyone that this plain, ordinary bride was worth more than everyone in the room combined. But she'd promised Amara, so she stayed silent and watched as Amara walked into the most treacherous nightmare of her life. He said the first 3 months of marriage were bearable. Idoko was still charming in public, still called Amara Pete name, still held her hand. But in private, the mask began to slip. Little things at first. Why is dinner cold? He'd snap. You're wearing that? It makes you look fat. My mother called today. She says you were disrespectful last week. Apologize to her. Amara, desperate to be a good wife, complied. She apologized. She cooked better. She dressed differently. But it was never enough. Because the problem wasn't Amara. The problem was Idoko. And the real horror was about to begin. It started exactly 4 months and 3 days after the wedding. Amara would remember that day for the rest of her life. She'd prepared Idoko's favorite meal, jollof rice with chicken, plantains, and salad. She'd cleaned the entire apartment until it sparkled. She dressed nicely, hoping they could have a pleasant evening together. Idoko came home late again. Welcome, my love, Amara greeted him with a warm smile. How was your day? He grunted. Didn't even look at her. I made your favorite. I'm not hungry. Oh, okay. I can warm it up later when... Are you deaf? Idoko suddenly exploded, spinning around to face her with rage in his eyes. I said, I'm not hungry. What part of that don't you understand? Amara stepped back, shocked. I'm sorry. I just thought... You thought? He laughed cruelly. You thought? That's your problem, Amara. You think too much. Women aren't supposed to think. They're supposed to obey. Tears filled Amara's eyes. Idoko, why are you talking to me like this? Like what? Like my wife? Like someone who's supposed to serve me? He moved closer, his face inches from hers. Let me tell you something. I am the head of this house. You are nothing without me. You understand? Nothing. I understand. Good. He pushed past her to the bedroom. And clean up that food. The smell is making me sick. Amara stood in the kitchen, trembling, wondering what had just happened. This wasn't the man she'd married. This was someone else, someone dark. She told herself it was just stress. Work pressure, it would pass. It didn't pass. It got worse. Like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell quickly, because what you're about to witness is heartbreaking. I need you to see what this woman endured, because only then will you understand the magnificent justice that's coming. The verbal abuse became daily, hourly. Yet you're stupid. You're worthless. Your cooking is disgusting. You're lucky I married you. No other man would want you. Amara endured it all, believing that love and patience would change him, that the man she'd fallen for was still inside somewhere. Then came the first time he hit her. It was over something trivial. She'd forgotten to iron his shirt properly. There was a small wrinkle on the collar. He slapped her so hard. The sound echoed through the apartment like a gunshot. Amara's face burned. Her ear rang. She stared at Idoko in complete shock. Don't you ever embarrass me like that again, he hissed. I have a reputation at work. I can't show up looking like my wife doesn't know how to iron a shirt. Idoko, you hit me. You deserved it. And if you tell anyone, your family, your friends, anyone, I will make your life a living hell. Do you understand? Amara nodded, tears streaming down her face. That night she called Auntie Tabitha, sobbing. He hit me, Auntie. He actually hit me. Auntie Tabitha's voice was ice cold with fury. That's it. I'm coming to get you. Pack your things. This marriage is over. No, Amara cried. I can't give up. Marriage is about commitment, about working through problems. I probably provoked him. I need to be a better wife. Amara, listen to yourself. This man is abusing you. Please, Auntie, just give me time. I can fix this. I can make this work. And what about the company? Auntie Tabitha demanded. You're the owner, Amara. You have power. You could. I don't want to use that power. I want him to love me for me. Please, Auntie, trust me. Just a little more time. Auntie Tabitha wanted to scream, wanted to drive over right then and drag Amara out of that apartment, wanted to reveal the truth to Idoko and watch him crumble. But Amara was her boss, her beloved Chief Agaku's daughter, and she'd made a promise. 3 months, Auntie Tabitha said finally. I'm giving you 3 months. If things don't improve, I'm intervening. I don't care what you say. Thank you, Auntie. 3 months, I promise things will get better. They didn't get better. They got catastrophically worse. Idoko's mother, Mama Idoko, became a constant presence in their lives. She'd show up unannounced, criticize everything Amara did, and Idoko would always take his mother's side. Mama says the house is dirty, Idoko would announce. Clean it properly. Mama says you're getting fat. Start exercising. Mama says you're disrespectful. Kneel down and apologize to her. And Amara, desperate to keep the peace, would comply. She knelt. She apologized. She scrubbed floors until her hands bled, all while being worth more than the Idoko's entire family wealth combined. Can you imagine? A billionaire on her knees, apologizing to a woman who couldn't afford a week of Amara's lifestyle? The irony is almost too painful to bear. Like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell quickly. Let's continue. But the worst was yet to come, because Amara was about to become pregnant. And that's when the real nightmare would begin. When Amara saw the 2 pink lines on the pregnancy test, her heart soared. This is it, she thought. This will fix everything. A baby will bring us back together. Idoko will remember why he loved me. We'll be a family. She was 8 weeks pregnant when she told him. So she'd prepared a special dinner. She'd bought a tiny pair of baby shoes and placed them on his plate. She was glowing with excitement. Idoko came home, saw the shoes, and his face darkened. What is this? He asked coldly. I am pregnant, Amara announced, tears of joy streaming down her face. We're going to be parents. We're going to have a baby. Silence. Long, terrible silence. How far along? Idoko finally asked. 8 weeks. The doctor confirmed it this morning when I stopped by a clinic on my way to the market for groceries. I'd been feeling nauseous and unusually weak. You went to the doctor without telling me. I wanted to be sure before I told you. So you lied to me. You kept secrets from me. No, I just wanted a surprise. Get rid of it. Amara's world stopped. What? You heard me. Get rid of it. We can't afford a baby right now. I'm trying to get promoted at work. We have bills. At least we don't need this distraction. Distraction, Amara's voice broke. This is our child, our baby. How can you call it a distraction? Because that's what it is. Idoko slammed his fist on the table. I didn't ask for this. You probably got pregnant on purpose to trap me. Trap you? We're married. Exactly. And look how that turned out. You're a terrible wife. Why would I want you to be the mother of my child? The words hit Amara like physical blows. I'm keeping this baby, she said quietly, her hand protectively on her still flat stomach. With or without your support. Idoko's eyes blazed with fury. Then you're on your own. Don't expect any help from me. And he meant it. From that moment on, Idoko became even more cruel, more vicious, more heartless. He wouldn't let her use money for prenatal vitamins. Waste of money. He wouldn't drive her to doctor's appointments. I'm too busy. He wouldn't let her buy maternity clothes. You look disgusting anyway. Amara, determined to protect her unborn child, endured. She saved money from her small secretary salary. She walked to medical appointments. She wore her regular clothes until they didn't fit anymore. At 3 months pregnant, she experienced severe morning sickness. She couldn't keep food down. She lost weight instead of gaining it. "You're so dramatic," Idoko would mock when she vomited. "Other women work through pregnancy just fine. You're just weak." At 5 months, she developed complications. Her blood pressure was rising. The doctor warned her to rest, reduce stress, eat properly. Idoko's response: "You're lazy. You just want an excuse not to cook and clean." He made her scrub floors, wash his clothes by hand, cook elaborate meals even when the smell made her violently ill. Mama Idoko visited constantly, making everything worse. "Look at you," she'd sneer at Amara's growing belly. "Fat, like a cow. My son deserves better than this." "Mama, please. I'm pregnant." "So, that's what happens when women are careless. You probably trapped my son with this pregnancy." "Shameless girl." And Idoko? He'd laugh. He'd agree with his mother. He'd humiliate Amara in front of her. I know this is hard to watch at this point. Like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I know you want to scream. But remember who Amara really is and the power she's hiding. At 6 months pregnant, Amara made a desperate call to Auntie Tabitha. "Auntie, I'm scared. The baby, my health. I don't know if I can do this anymore." "Then come home," Auntie Tabitha begged. "Come back to your real life. Let me take care of you. Let the company doctors monitor your pregnancy." "Amara, please." "I can't abandon my marriage. Your marriage is destroying you. Just a little longer. Please, Auntie. After the baby is born, I'll make a decision." "Amara," Auntie Tabitha's voice broke with frustration and love. "You're the owner of Agaku Industries. Do you know what's happening at the company right now? Do you know where Idoko works?" "What do you mean?" 2 months ago, Idoko got a new job. He was hired as a senior manager at, guess where? Amara's blood ran cold. "No!" "Yes. Agaku Manufacturing Division. One of our subsidiaries. Amara, your husband works for you. And he works for the company you own. And he doesn't even know it." The irony was staggering, breathtaking, almost unbelievable. Idoko Agbadu, who called his wife worthless, who said she was lucky he married her, who treated her like dirt, was cashing paychecks signed by her company, was parking in a lot she owned, was sitting in an office paid for by her billions. "Don't tell him," Amara whispered. "Please, Auntie." "Not yet." "When, Amara? When will you stand up for yourself?" "Soon, I promise. After the baby comes, I'll figure something out." But fate had other plans. At 7 months pregnant, the abuse reached new unthinkable heights. Amara was preparing dinner when Idoko came home in a foul mood. "The food isn't ready yet," he snarled. "I'm sorry. I was feeling dizzy earlier and had to rest." "Rest? You rest all day while I work. You're a burden, Amara. A useless, pregnant burden." "Please, the baby. Stress isn't good for..." "I don't care about the baby. I never wanted the baby." He grabbed the pot of soup she was cooking and threw it across the room. Hot liquid splashed everywhere, since some of it hit Amara's arm, burning her. She cried out in pain. "Shut up!" Idoko screamed. "Just shut up with your crying." Mama Idoko, who had been in the living room, rushed in. "What's all this noise?" "Your daughter-in-law is being dramatic again," Idoko said, disgustedly. Mama Idoko looked at Amara, 7 months pregnant, burned, crying, terrified, and smiled cruelly. She's always crying, Mama Idoko said dismissively. Always looking for attention. Pathetic. That night, Amara called Auntie Tabitha with trembling hands. He's going to kill me, Auntie, she whispered. If I stay, he's going to kill me and the baby. I'm coming to get you right now. Wait, not yet. I need to plan this carefully. If I just leave, he'll come after me. He'll make a scene. I need protection. You have protection, Auntie Tabitha nearly shouted. You have an army of security. You have lawyers. You have billions. Amara, please. 1 more week, Amara said. Give me 1 more week to plan. Then I'll come home. I'll reclaim everything. I'll tell him the truth. 1 week, Auntie Tabitha agreed, her voice steel. But if he touches you again, if he even looks at you wrong, I'm coming in with security and the police. I don't care if it exposes everything. Thank you, Auntie. 1 week, I promise. Amara had no idea that in just 3 days something would happen that would change everything. Something so horrific, so unthinkable, so cruel that the world itself would demand justice. Like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because the next part is the darkest moment of this story. But remember that justice is coming. Remember that the vindication will be sweet. Hold on to that thought. You'll need it. It was a Thursday evening. Amara was 8 months pregnant. Her belly was huge. Her feet were swollen. Her back ached constantly. The doctor had told her to rest as much as possible. The baby could come any day now. Idoko came home with 3 of his friends. They were drunk, laughing loudly, making crude jokes. Amara, Idoko shouted, bring us beer. Amara, moving slowly because of her pregnancy, brought cold beer from the fridge. What took you so long? One of Idoko's friends mocked. I look at her waddling like a duck. All the men laughed, including Idoko. She's useless, Idoko said, taking the beer from her roughly. Can barely move anymore. I can't even remember why I married her. The words cut deep, but Amara said nothing. She turned to go back to the bedroom. Where do you think you're going? Idoko demanded. I'm tired. I thought I'd rest while you and your friends. Tired? You're always tired, lazy woman, he pointed at the kitchen. Look at that mess. Clean it up. But the doctor said I should avoid standing for too long. I don't care what the doctor said. Clean now. Amara, hands trembling, began cleaning the kitchen. Her back screamed in protest. The baby kicked hard against her ribs, as if sensing her mother's distress. Hey, Idoko, one of his friends said loudly, clearly trying to provoke. So yes, I heard your wife used to work as a secretary. What happened? Did she quit because of the pregnancy? She had to, Idoko said disgustedly. Got too fat to fit at her desk. More cruel laughter. Does she have any family with money? Anyone who can help support the baby? Nothing, Idoko announced proudly. She comes from nothing. Poor family, no connections, no education. She's lucky I married her, gave her a name, a home. Like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell and watch. As this fool has no idea that his wife's family name is worth more than he'll earn in 1,000 lifetimes. So, what's your plan after the baby comes? Another friend asked. Will she go back to work? Why should she? Idoko laughed. I make enough money. I just got promoted to senior manager at Agaku Manufacturing, making 6 figures now. I don't need her to work. She can stay home and take care of my house properly. Agaku Manufacturing. The irony was suffocating. Amara continued cleaning. her vision blurring with tears and exhaustion. Then it happened. She was carrying a tray of empty beer bottles when her swollen foot caught on the edge of the rug. She stumbled. The tray crashed to the floor, bottles shattering everywhere. The room went silent. Idoko stood him up slowly, his face a mask of rage. "What did you just do?" His voice was deadly quiet. "I'm sorry. I tripped. My foot." "You tripped? You're so fat and clumsy that you can't even walk properly?" "Idoko, please, I didn't mean—" "Shut up!" He grabbed her arm roughly, yanking her forward. Amara cried out. The grip was painful. "Idoko, you're hurting me." "Good! And maybe pain will teach you to be more careful." One of his friends, uncomfortable, tried to intervene. "Hey man, she's pregnant, maybe." "Stay out of this," Idoko roared. "This is my wife, my house. I can discipline her however I want." He dragged Amara toward the door. Where are we going?" she asked, terrified. "You want to act like an animal, then you can live like an animal." Behind their apartment building was a small, filthy structure that Idoko used to keep pigs for the fun of it. It was called the pig pen by everyone in the building. It was disgusting, muddy, smelling of rot and waste. There was no light, little ventilation, just a dirty, muddy floor and broken wooden walls. "No," Amara breathed, realization dawning. "No, Idoko, please. Get inside. I'm pregnant. I'm 8 months pregnant. You can't." He shoved her hard. Amara stumbled into the pig pen, her hands instinctively protecting her belly as she fell to her knees in the filth. "You'll sleep here tonight," Idoko said coldly. "Maybe it'll teach you some respect. Maybe it'll teach you to be more careful." "Idoko, please, the baby. What if I go into labor? What if—" "Then you should have thought about that before embarrassing me in front of my friends." He slammed the door shut. She heard a lock click into place. Amara knelt there in the darkness, in the filth, 8 months pregnant, and screamed, "Idoko, please, please let me out." From inside the apartment, she could hear laughter. Idoko is inside his house right now, laughing with his friends and drinking beer, completely unaware that he just made the most expensive mistake of his life. He thinks he's powerful because he has a key to a pig pen, but he's forgotten one thing. You can only push a lioness so far before she shows her claws. Amara is in the dark. She's in pain and she's in labor. But the Agaku Empire is already moving. The rescue is minutes away, and Monday morning is going to be legendary. You've witnessed the betrayal. Now you deserve to witness the vindication. Let me know if you're ready for part 2 in the comments. If you want to see the moment Idoko realizes his boss is the woman he treated like an animal. Thank you for watching. I would like to know where you are watching from. Quickly like and subscribe right now and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss part 2 when it drops. Stay tuned. The Empress is coming back for her crown.